everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. So today I will be unboxing for you my Palpatine lightsaber that I got from Ally Sabers in the mail about a week ago. Hopefully by the end of this video, this will prove that this is the only lightsaber that you will need in your collection. So let's get started. First thing you're going to notice is this fancy case that it came in. I was actually surprised that Ally actually shipped this to me. On their website, it does say that they have anything extra in stock that as a gift they will ship it out to you. So I was very fortunate to get this case. It's nothing too fancy. It's, just straight up plastic, a little bit of aluminum, but it does lock, which I thought that was a pretty cool feature. So we'll open it up and we'll go over some of the things that comes with the Saber. This thing's also very top heavy, so you may see it kind of tip back. Funny thing it came with these these 3D printed pieces. I wasn't really sure what it was at first until I assembled it. It's actually a lightsaber stand. So if you take the blade off, you can actually, just place the lightsaber there. So I thought that was pretty nice. Some stuff that it comes with, and this is kind of an odd unboxing video, but here's the bag that the screws came in. Here's the owner's manual, just how to operate it. The Allen wrench tool, just so you can actually screw the blade into the hilt. Very important. USB-C charging cable. This thing is actually rechargeable, unlike the Galaxy's Edge lightsaber, which is not. It takes batteries, which I hate. And it comes with the blade itself. This is just your standard, it's just a piece of plastic. This is not I didn't opt in for the NeoPixel. The difference between this and NeoPixel is this is actually dual ready. So if you and your significant other are having an argument, no way better to decide the fate than a good lightsaber duel. NeoPixel actually does have like 250 LEDs within the blade itself. Downfall is Ally recommends that you do not duel with it, or else you will damage some of the LEDs that are in there. But we'll get to the main focus of the attraction is the lightsaber hilt itself. Like I said, I ordered this from Ally Sabers, which the ordering experience was interesting, but we'll get to that in a sec. But this is the actual prop size that Ian McDiarmid actually used in the movie. If you've seen other videos, I know Galaxy's Edge actually used to sell a Palpatine lightsaber, and that thing was humongous. I'll actually show you the Darth Vader replica from Galaxy's Edge that I have, but that's the piece of plastic that's holding in place. But just look at this. For one, if Darth Vader used something this size, this is insane. How do you duel with this bad boy? But we'll set that off to the side and we'll kind of compare the two here in a little bit. But as you can see, here's the quality of the lightsaber it's nothing short of fantastic. For those of you that don't know too much about Plagueis, the only time we've ever actually seen this lightsaber is up close is in, Revenge of the Sith. Of course, I know hopefully everyone has seen that movie by then. If you haven't, check it out. But so Palpatine, he grew up on Naboo in a very very wealthy household. So when it came time for him to actually begin constructing his lightsaber, he only wanted to use the finest metals and the finest materials. So very fine metals, and he was very bougie. That's the only way I can describe Palpatine. Is just a very bougie person overall. Also, if you've never read this book, this is Darth Plagueis by James Luceno. I highly recommend it. It takes place about 67 years before the Battle of Yavin, and it goes all the way up until basically the end of episode 1. It kind of gives you a really good backstory in episode 1. So after reading that book, I actually have a better understanding of Palpatine and kind of the backstory with episode 1. But so for this lightsaber, yeah, this is just the prop size. You can tell it's a lot smaller. It feels a lot better in the hand just to use and to overall duel with around the house. But just some of the features. So this thing is rechargeable. There are 2 screw holes here in the bottom to where you can actually recharge it. There's only one button, and it's actually this green button here. And that's what it does. It basically just takes it out of sleep mode. Power off. So holding it takes it out of sleep mode. And it does have this little plastic cover protector in here as well. You can actually unscrew the screws here to pull it, basically just pull this piece out, and we're actually able to screw the blade into the hilt itself. It's kind of odd though, I don't know if you can see it here, but there's actually only 3 screw holes and there's a 4th missing. Like, I'm not sure if that was intentional or not, but something that you'll have to do is when you do screw in the hilt or screw in the blade is make sure that you screw these in evenly. Don't screw in one all the way, or else you're gonna see the blade be kind of, almost like kind of cockeyed, so, and it'll be bent. So we definitely don't want that. So I'll screw in the blade off camera and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so now that we got the blade screwed into the hilt, there's a couple of ways you can turn the lightsaber on. The first is just by pressing on the green button. So the first thing you'll notice, this thing it's pretty loud. The sound quality is great. It's got the 2 speakers at the bottom. You can adjust the volume via the options in the owner's manual. There's a bunch of different things that you can do with this. You can change the color of the blade. You can actually change the different sounds, whether you want to sound like the Emperor, Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, Obi-Wan. I think there's about 10 to 12 different sounds that you can actually change this to. So you can turn it on via just the button. Turning it off is the same. You can just hold the green button and it turns it off. Another cool feature, if you decide to enable it, is you can turn the lightsaber on just by simply flicking your wrist. And one thing I love about this lightsaber with Ally versus, like Galaxy's Edge, and no, Ally's not paying me for this. I've actually had no contact with Ally at all, which I'll get into that in a sec. But look, just the quality is great in terms of actually moving the lightsaber. You can actually hear it. It actually makes different sounds. You can also, just by tapping the green button, it simulates blaster fire. It's a very great quality. You can even hold down the green button for just a split second and it simulates, like sabers clashing. And just by flicking your wrist again, it turns it off. So we'll kind of set that down. We'll actually, so this is where it makes its money. So here's the Galaxy's Edge, Vader lightsaber. It's not very loud at all. The blade is honestly kind of, in terms of movement, I'm moving it around, it doesn't really capture my movement compared to this lightsaber. And then we have this. As you can see, it's very well lit. And this is just your standard blade. This isn't even the NeoPixel. If you actually had the NeoPixel, the light quality would be even better, but I wanted to maybe duel with it from time to time. So I figured and plus this was my first pricier lightsaber purchase, so I figured I'd want to, start off with something a little bit cheaper. But yeah, like I said, you can do multiple different things with this. You can change who it sounds like.
The dark sword.
So why it has the dark sword, I don't know. I think they just, included all the sounds in here, but it actually sounds pretty cool. The Ally actually does make a dark saber as well. I was actually debating on getting one of those next. I turned on the lights just so you could see this properly, but you can't really tell this thing is a fingerprint magnet. You're gonna have to wipe this thing down every time just because it gets absolutely ridiculous. But next we'll kind of go into the buying experience with this. So I ordered this off of Ally's website. It says on their website, you should receive a tracking number within 7 days of purchasing. I'm like, cool. 7 days goes by, no email. 14 days goes by, no email, no nothing. So I reach out to Ally via email. I'm like, hey, just checking on the status of my lightsaber purchase. No response. 3 weeks goes by, still nothing. So I reach out to them, Facebook, TikTok, and email again. I'm like, hey, I still haven't received a tracking number, nothing with are you guys shipping this thing out? And of course I looked on Ally's Facebook page. Apparently people are having the same issue, just no contact with Ally. They can't get a hold of these people at all. So I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, oh, I got scammed out of because this thing was, I think $285. So I was a little worried about that. And as I'm about to literally cancel the order, get my money back from my credit card company, I get a text from DHL, the shipping company, which, man, DHL, they are, bless them. I get a text from DHL. They're like, hey, you have a shipment coming from HK from Hong Kong. It's set to arrive tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll give it another day. We'll see what happens. The day of, I get a personal text message from the actual driver, be like, hey, I'm I'm about an hour out with your order. Do you want me to just leave it at the door, or are you going to be there to sign for it? I'm like, well, I'm at work. I just left for work, so just leave it on the door. And even the guy's like, he's like, okay, I will. Thank you so much. I'm like, I guess I was just shocked considering I've never received that kind of service. But of course, what do you know? I get home and Saber's here and everything's perfect, and I couldn't be happier with it. So if you're watching this and if you've ordered from Ally, all I can tell you is give it time. I'd say around 30 days, and that's when you will receive your lightsaber. Because it's definitely worth it, especially if you've bought, you know, lightsabers from like other companies or from Galaxy's Edge. You know, the quality is just not there. Like this thing, like, I don't know why. This thing has a mind of its own. It likes the Darth Vader sound. Overall, this thing is fun. I said my dogs hate it though. I'll chase them around the backyard with it, and they absolutely hate it. But it gets them exercise, so I'm all about it. All right, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel and have not yet subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button down below. It definitely helps me out a lot. I've decided to maybe kind of, I wouldn't say go away from doing Tesla videos. I still do those, but I want to, I guess, broaden my horizons. So I figure in terms of tech, so I guess when I got this in, I figured I decided to do a video on this as well. If you would like to see more, just drop them in the comments. I am considering purchasing other lightsabers and doing some unboxing and reviews for those as well. But hope you enjoy the rest of your day. See ya!